Early this year, almost everybody was saying that Ethereum is dead and were making even jokes and memes on social media about it. But one major change happens and everything changed about Ethereum now is skyrocketing in the last few weeks. It's been adopted from large corporates for their own treasuries like Bitcoin, and BlackRock is accumulating more Ethereum ETFs than Bitcoin ETF as well. And this one most probably will lead to the new altcoin season that everybody, including me, wanted since early this year. It changed in timeline, but it's going to happen. And in this video, I will show you exactly what were these changes and what is the future of Ethereum and how will be connected to the altcoin season, which is already happening and will skyrocket from now on. So make sure you prepare yourself for what's coming and get ready with your bags for profit. Welcome to this video, welcome to my channel. This is Giannis Andreou. Smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future if you don't want to miss any great opportunity. And let's jump into it. The CEO of Bitwise explained exactly what was the major change of Ethereum. Look here.
Yeah, there's been a real vibe shift on Ethereum, to use your word, Alex. I think it started when the Ethereum Foundation replaced its leadership, which happened earlier this year. There was a recognition that it was moving too slow, that it was too ivory tower and not enough real world. And they started to gain momentum. And then you're right, Tom Lee came on board and packaged it in a great marketing scheme, as he always does. Tom's a good friend of mine. And talked about Ethereum as the stablecoin chain. The other thing that's going on beneath the surface, though, which maybe doesn't get talked about enough, is if you think about why Bitcoin has done so well over the last 18 months, it's been a really simple story where ETFs and corporations have bought something like 5x the new supply.
Yeah.
So there's been more demand than supply. Well, actually, since the start of May, ETFs and corporations have bought 32x the supply of Ethereum because we've had this huge growth in Ethereum ETP flows, right? They did, I think, $5 billion over the last 8 weeks. And we've had this huge growth of corporations buying Ethereum. So the same sort of supply demand story that drove Bitcoin for the last 18 months, and Ethereum just kind of sat there and went down, is now happening in Ethereum. So there's a vibe dynamic and there's a supply demand dynamic. And you have to ask yourself, will these vibes continue? Absolutely.
So now with Tom Lee going around the TVs and explaining that Ethereum should be in their corporate treasuries, etc., everything is changing about Ethereum and now it's literally getting adopted more from the marketing of it. And this marketing, this leadership was missed so much. I was saying this for over a year and this is the exact same problem that Cardano has. And if they don't change leadership, for example, I don't believe they're going to ever see in the future and that they ever going to be expanding. So this cycle is not just that, oh, Bitcoin and then Ethereum is following now, altcoin season is following as well. Well, yes, it looks like it's going to happen in that sequence, but actually if the Ethereum leadership didn't make this change and Tom Lee didn't came to Ethereum, we would most probably never see this race on the Ethereum, and Ethereum will kind of remain with some adoption in the history, but we'll never see this adoption and this enthusiasm, this resurgence that we are seeing right now. So we have officially from the corporates 2.3 million Ethereum adopted, which is worth of $8.5 billion right now. Even the Trump-linked World Liberty Financial buys over 3,400 Ethereum worth of $13 million, and more companies, even Bitmine, which is a Bitcoin mining company, they have 5% of their holdings of their treasury in Ethereum. Even the Bitcoin mining companies, they are diversifying on Ethereum. So personally, I do have a $10 million business in Bitcoin mining and I'm expanding more and more in it. I am not going to hold as a company in the treasury of the company Ethereum, but I'm going to definitely hold Bitcoin and accumulate more Bitcoin with my Bitcoin mining company. Only hold Bitcoin in its treasury and maybe some cash, and by mining Bitcoin you accumulate more Bitcoin with the same amount than purchasing Bitcoin itself, and only if you optimize Bitcoin mining and if you have cheap electricity. That's something that we have from Bitcoin mining, and if you're interested in that, you can check out the link down below and reach me and my team to learn more about it. And you can start with a low budget instantly without spending millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars in facilities and equipments or other strategies to build it. You can literally start in 3 to 5 business days and start mining immediately. So when it comes to the Bitcoin accumulation and the Ethereum, these things, it looks like it's going to be like Microsoft and Apple, or not at this scale of adoption, but it's like going to be an alternative. And just by advertising Ethereum now as a strategic reserve, as a treasury reserve for corporates will start diversifying from Bitcoin. They will have some portion of it, some part of it also on on Ethereum. Obviously, the number one is going to be Bitcoin no matter what is Ethereum or how much marketing they try to do. If they do every single day marketing around, they know about it. Still, the largest capital will go to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is unique. It does not have direct competition because it's unique on everything what it does have, but still Ethereum will be as an alternative, as something, as diversification, and the entire Wall Street and all the investors worldwide, they are being taught to be diversified, to not have everything in one basket, but to have also another alternative option. So that by default will benefit Ethereum. It's ridiculous, but it will happen. But I do believe that very soon we're going to see other altcoin ETFs come into the space, such as Solana, Sui, or XRP, or HBAR, or Avalanche ETFs come into the market, even maybe Cardano ETFs. The share of the capital will be diversified in different other altcoins, but still Ethereum will have its own share in the market. And at this point in the market, after going through all the drama with tariffs and everything that we went until now this year, now finally we are moving toward altcoin season. And in this year we're gonna see new all-time highs in great profits from different altcoins, and you can watch my other video about the top 5 crypto altcoin pickups for 2025 if you have not watched it yet until now. And also make sure that you are diversified with at least 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Ethereum, like minimum, because there are going to be so many opportunities as well on altcoins, but with a huge risk, and the majority of the people cannot take these profits, so they cannot spot the right time, unfortunately, for that. That's why you need at least minimum 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin, or at least the worst case scenario, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then the rest of it on other altcoins. And even actually if you are Bitcoin maxi or Bitcoin Ethereum maxi, you're still going to be quite profitable, more profitable than any other type of investment like real estate or stock market or S&P 500 and all this that you hear left and right. Bitcoin is the number one, the best option right now. And if you are quite familiar in the market, you're trying to chase altcoins, definitely you can have some great exposure there and grab some good opportunities, but DCA out or even sell everything when the market is fully greedy. Okay, so that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you check out my other video for top 5 cryptocurrencies and also for the Bitcoin mining, if it's worth it, and it's worth it. For 2025, I just go into the details and explain how it works and how you can do mining. And I have also other videos that you can check anytime, such as my Bitcoin mining farm worth of 2 million back in November of last year. And hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. See you in the next one.